Well, hello there. Jen Patero here on Sunday, June the 12th. June 12th, this means I've only got 5 months left before I hit the UFE. Look at me rocking my UFE, one of my UFE t-shirts. 5 months to go. So still, a long ways to go. I have officially begun my prep, right? My competition prep. I started about 6 months out, so it's been 4 weeks. And I say that, but I'm not cutting yet. Of course, I utilize a ketogenic approach to my competition prep. I mean, that's my lifestyle. That's the way I eat always. And so this is how I prep for the show with my nutrition coach, Robert Sykes, the Keto Savage, who's absolutely incredible. So like I say, I'm not quite cutting yet, but I have flipped the switch in my brain to prep mode. I am most certainly being a lot more strict in hitting my macros than I was when I was building or bulking. But also the process that we take to get me down to where I need to be to hit that stage in November on the 12th is first, I have to look for my protein threshold, right? So the ketogenic diet, of course, we eat a ton of fat. I eat high fat. But at the same time, I want to eat as much protein as I possibly can. So that's the phase that we're at right now. I am reducing my fats while increasing my proteins to look for that threshold, the maximum amount of protein that I can consume so that I can continue to build a bit of muscle, so that I can maintain the muscle that I worked so hard to build when I was in my bulking or building phase. So that's where we're at. And it's not a time where I'm really losing much weight. I think on my last video, I said I was getting into trouble because I had started to lose too much weight too quickly. And so I had to cut back on my cardio, which I've done. No more dance. I'm not doing the Beachbody dancing. All I'm doing is 5 days of the week walking on a treadmill on an incline. And then I'm using my program that actually just this past Monday, Mel at RamFit Training, my girl, put together a new program for me. I'm loving it. It is not loving me. I am sore. I have had a week in the gym, but love it because I know that means it's working. It never ceases to amaze me though that, I'm working the same muscle groups, but yet I'm still getting so sore. So it tells me, again, like reinforces the need to change up your exercise routine because your body sort of adapts to it, gets used to it. And each exercise, it might be a back exercise, but you're also using some arms, maybe some shoulders, some chest, so each exercise, it may focus on one specific area, but you of course have to utilize other muscle groups to get the job done. So as you switch up the exercises and the sequence of the exercises, your body needs to adapt and adjust to that, and it can leave you feeling a little bit sore, as I have been this past week. Anyways, a whole lot of stuff, but actually the purpose of my video today is to talk a little bit about the non-scale victories, because like I said, for me, this is not a lose weight phase. This is a look for the protein threshold, maximize protein. But as I'm increasing my protein and decreasing my fat, my calories are reducing week over week, but not by a ton, just by a little bit. So, super important to be taking pictures. I take bi-weekly pictures and send them to Robert. And I also take bi-weekly measurements. So I'm going to talk about the scale a little bit and see how little I have shifted in 4 weeks. But also chat about my measurements, because that's where I'm seeing, I'm feeling different. Even though the scale really isn't reflecting a huge change, my measurements are also reflecting a bit of a change too. So super important to not be so focused on the scale number, but to also be focused on these non-scale victories. So when I started, if I rewind to my very first day of the prep, it was a Monday and I weighed 150.2 pounds. Okay. I told you, I put on 30 pounds from the last show. I was up at 150.2. My macros at that time were 215 grams of fat, 110 grams of protein, and 15 grams of carbs. That was at the very start. Now, where I sit today, this morning, jumped on the scale, 145.4 pounds. So I have dropped about 5 pounds over the course of 4 weeks. A lot of that was water retention, a lot of fluids, because I was eating a lot more carbs back when we started. And my macros today are 190 grams of fat, 125 grams of protein, and 15 grams of carbs. Tomorrow, we shift that a bit. I drop the fats again. I increase the protein a bit, and we'll carry on and see what that does. But this is where I'm sitting currently, okay? 150.2 pounds down to 145.4, knowing that a lot of that was water. And I'll tell you also, at the beginning of this week, when I started this past Monday, I was 145.6 pounds. I've dropped a whopping 0.2 pounds, right? Like, I'm not looking to lose a ton of body fat right now. That's not what happens. You have to be so patient with the process. All week, I've basically maintained. I haven't lost anything. I've really maintained. But if I look at my measurements, so back on the very first day, my chest measurements, I measure my chest, I measure my waist, I measure my hips, my arms, my upper leg, and my lower leg. And I'll tell you right now, my arms, my upper leg, and my lower leg have stayed exactly the same. Exactly the same in 4 weeks. But I have noticed a shift in my upper body. So my chest started at 33 inches. I'm now down to 32.5. I've lost half an inch in my chest. I have not exactly where I want to lose. Just kidding. My waist, I started at 29 inches. I'm now down to 28. I've lost an entire inch. Again, probably has to do with bloating and water retention from all of the things that I was eating before. And my hips also down 0.5 inches. I started at 33, same as my chest, and I'm now down to 32.5. Again, same as my chest. So 4 weeks, I haven't lost a ton of weight, but I am losing inches. So moral of my story today is celebrate and track. First, you have to track the non-scale victories. Then you have to celebrate those non-scale victories. And lastly, have patience in the process. It happens gradually, but it does happen. And honestly, as far as sustainability and not hitting plateaus, I feel this is the best way to approach your weight loss journey, your lifestyle change, your body compositional journey, is to go slow and steady, be patient, and it will happen. Anyways, that's it for me for today. Hope everybody had a fantastic weekend and continues to have a great week. I know I've got a busy week ahead. But that's okay. That's good. That keeps me energized and excited and out of the fridge, to be honest. You got to keep busy so I don't overindulge. Anyways, take care, guys. Have a phenomenal rest of your weekend, and I will see you again very soon, I'm sure. Take care. Bye for now.